Well, a little bit early this morning. The wind's going to be favourable, but it's going to get stronger in the afternoon, so we'll leave a bit earlier and try and beat it up to where we're going.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't.
Just a little bit of wind from the south, so we'll get the sail out and try and use it. Well, it's a bit cool this morning. I think I'm going to shut this door. Oh, that's better. Stops the breeze blowing through. Nice little bit of breeze there for us. Shame there's no sun out, but you can't have everything sometimes, I suppose.
Well, the visibility's pretty poor, so I'm navigating on the plotter. I've got the radar on and got the FTC turned right up to get rid of the rain clutter, but I can see targets on the radar, so it gives me a bit of warning if any of these ships are moving. What I'm worried about at the moment, we're just passing Newcastle. I can see Nobby's head out in the gloom. And I'm just worried about either a ship coming out from Newcastle or one heading into Newcastle. So I've just got to keep an eye out for them, and I've probably only got a visibility range of about probably a mile or 2 miles. I can't see the ships that are anchored off me, and they're about 3 miles out, so I can't see them at all. What a shocking afternoon. Been raining full on for about 3 hours. The wind's just all over the place. A little bit of northerly in it now, I think. So we pulled the pin on Broughton. We're just going to head into Port Stephens. There's a couple of moorings in here just around the corner. Hopefully I can pick one of them up, or I will anchor up. I can anchor in Shoal Bay. And yeah, the wind's going to fill in a bit tomorrow, I think, so we'll use that. and get further up. We might run all the way up to Foster Tuncurry. It's another 2 hours to Broughton, and just in these conditions it's fine enough, but well, it's calm enough, but I just don't want to do it. I want a bit of breeze to help us along. Anyway, we'll head in here and make ourselves comfy for the night. In here if I can find it. I think that's it up in front of us, so we'll hook up on that so we drop the pick. What a shocking day. Bloody terrible. I know I'm moving north. Unbelievable this. Welcome to sunny Port Stephens. Unbelievable. I've just come in around into Shelley Beach and Shoal Bay, I think it is, Shoal Bay. And there's a mooring in here, so there was no one on it luckily, so I've picked up that mooring and this is where we'll be for the night. It looks like it's going to rain all night, I reckon. But I'll have to work out what I'm going to do tomorrow because I need to check my engine room, so I might do that in the morning. I don't think the tide's running out until about 8 o'clock. So we might wait until then. I might just jump up to Broughton tomorrow and then on to Foster the next day, but we'll just see what the weather's doing. I hope this rain can rain all night if it wants, but yeah, it's pretty ordinary when you're out there. Anyhow, the wind's here now, so I'm glad to be tied up on the mooring. Well, good morning. Pretty wild all afternoon yesterday, and it settled down a bit last night. And this mooring in here, there's not too much roll gets in, so it wasn't too bad a night. Had a good night's sleep. Not in much hurry this morning. I think if I'm going to go anywhere, I'm just going to skip up to Broughton where I was heading yesterday. I don't think the swells are up that big, and the wind has dropped off probably about 10 knots, I reckon. So I'm just trying to make the decision whether I head up there or stay here, but I think I might just knock off that. I think it's about 16 miles, so it gets me a bit further north, and an easy place to leave from when I head a bit further north on probably Saturday. So we might head out of here in an hour or so and just head up to Broughton, I think. Cup of tea first though. Not quite as much rain around today either, I don't think. Well, I've been trying to make up my mind all morning whether I'm going to head to Broughton. It's only about a 2-hour trip, and the swells might be still up a little bit out there, but the wind's dropped off a fair bit and it'll all be from behind, so I'm going to go out and run up. It'll take 2 hours off the trip to Foster, probably tomorrow. So yeah, I think we'll just give it a little run up the coast and get into Broughton. Should be good up there. Let's get things organised. Yep.
We'll sit there for a few days while I mess around just get the fuel and stuff.
Yep. No worries, mate. All right, well, safe travel. I might see you out in the water tomorrow. Probably not. I'll probably leave the daylight tomorrow if I get up here, all right? Yeah. Anyway, have a safe trip. See you somewhere further up. See you, mate. Bye. This is Cabbage Tree Island, and we'll just get clear of that, and then I can set a course for Broughton. I can see it in the distance. It's not very far away. Pretty comfortable out here. Bit of wind up. I've got a little bit of sail out. We're doing 6.5, 6.8, which is great. And yeah, there's not much swell on, so it's not too bad. If the rain would go away, it'd be fantastic. It always takes a little bit longer without Wombi on board, but it's quite doable. Now that I've got that furled, I can just concentrate on getting a boat through all the shoals up around Broughton here, so I just don't have to worry about that and concentrate on my nav. You'll notice I furled the sail. We're in between a few shoal patches here, so there's quite a few shallow areas around Broughton, and I've just got rid of the sail because it's just one other thing I don't have to worry about. I can concentrate on my nav and getting in safely and not have to worry about carrying the sail. It slowed our speed down a bit for the sake of, you know, knot and a half. I'd rather do it a bit more carefully and concentrate on getting through these shallow areas. Just having a little change of plan here. I'm just going to go and stick my nose into Cold Shaft Bay. I don't know if it's going to be any good in there. No, I think I'm going to go up to Providence. It's pretty well, I'm just looking at where the weather's coming from, but it's pretty well out of the south. A little bit of east in it maybe. I think we'll go up to Providence and see what it's like up there. I'm just hoping no swell. I've never been there before, so I don't know what it's like. I'm just sort of hoping no swells hook around the corner, but no, we'll go and try it, I guess. Bit of tide running through here too, so I'm not losing any speed. It must run north with the outgoing tide, I think. Beach over there doesn't look too bad, so I think it'll be a good spot. Quite a bit of swell getting in here. Could make it for an uncomfortable anchorage. But there is a mooring right up in the corner. We might go and have a look at that, because sometimes they put the moorings in positions that are out of the swell, so we might go and see if we can find that and try it out. There's a bit of a shoal patch in the middle here, so I can see waves breaking on it at the moment. And we're going to give that a bit of a wide berth, I think. I can see the mooring now. It's just in behind these shoals, so it looks like it could be a good spot. I'll just go and get the rope set up to pick it up. Pretty good here at Broughton. It's comfortable enough in this little anchorage on the mooring. I'm just doing some calculations for tomorrow, so I'm going to Foster. There's a bar there that I've got across. The swell's going to be up to about nearly 2 metres I think tomorrow, still 1.7 I think. And it's going to be onshore a bit, so the bar could be a little bit ordinary. You'd have to really watch it. So I want to get there at the optimum time, and that time is about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So to get there by 10 o'clock, I'm going to want to leave here at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Could do it at 3, but I think 4. I think we'll have a bit of wind tomorrow, so I think I should be able to do my 6, and that'll get us there in about 5.8 hours. So I'll leave at 4 o'clock, and if I get there a bit after half tide, not too good. I'd like to get there on the flooding tide. I'll see how I go. If I wake up at 3, I'll probably get going, give myself that little bit of extra time. But anyway, at least get the tide right to cross that bar and have a look at it. If I can't get in there, I can go up and have a look at Port Macquarie, but Port Macquarie is usually a worse bar than Foster. Foster's got a bit of cover from Cape Hawke, whereas Port Macquarie, a bit of swell usually gets in there and it can be quite a nasty one. So anyway, we're going to try for Foster. I'll get there before 10 o'clock in the morning and get the run-in tide. When I get there, there's a couple of moorings. I hope I can snag one. If I can pick up one of the moorings there, we'll probably spend a couple of days there, spend the weekend there I think, and have a little bit of a rest. I can go and do some shopping. There's a coffee shop available. It's a good little spot to stop for a little while, so we'll spend a couple of days at Foster, and then next stop will be Port Macquarie, and I've got to go in there and get fuel, so I need some pretty good weather and light weather to get in there. Anyway, we are governed by the weather, living this fantastic lifestyle, but the weather just controls everything you do really. So yeah, an early start, set the alarm clocks. A few shoaly areas I'll have to be careful of leaving here tomorrow too, so I'll just keep an eye on them, doing it in the dark. And there'll be no moon, so it'll be a dark night till the sun comes up. Well, good morning. Thought this was going to be a good anchorage, but when the tide turns here, it really rolls. So I didn't have much of a night. Rolled around like a sick sausage. Just after I went to bed, it started rolling into here, and it's good again now. But when the tide turns, it's not a great anchorage. So I wouldn't recommend this one. Stay at Port Stephens and do that extra couple of hours, because you're not going to get a couple of hours sleep here, that's for sure. Anyway, we're up at it's about 2:30, and we're going to get ready to start up and get out of here. I've got to be careful navigating out of here because there's a few shoals around, so I've got to really watch that. And then we'll plot a course. Once I just get out, we'll be fine and plot a course across the Seal Rocks and then up the coast to Foster. Cup of tea first though.